Nope.
Hello, everybody. It's mood lighting.
Like the mall.
It was like the mall. Leave it like that. It's a good show to stan Laura Lee on.
Yeah, you did.
She seems to be the guiding.
You put in the early work.
Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is So I'm Watching Yellowjackets, Season 2, Episode 4.
Old Wounds.
I guess start with Javi?
He's alive.
They found him.
I was a Javi is alive truther from the first minute.
Well, I was too, but then I couldn't comprehend how he was surviving.
I don't know how he was staying warm, but we now know how he was eating.
We think
he was stealing bear meat from them.
So they just good and scared him.
Well, yeah.
But, I mean, when faced with girls, like, freaking out they were...
Okay, Travis at least had the pleasure of losing his virginity that night. Like, pleasure.
Honor, duty.
Jackie feels a little like a cold fish, but I just think that, like, Javi is a little too young to have picked up on any of the intricacies. And
he's just been apparently hanging out around the periphery.
Yeah.
Because you're assuming, they didn't confirm that, but you're assuming that he was stealing the bear meat. Because I was like, someone's stealing bear meat.
Because Shauna got mad at the
And someone took a boy poop in the bucket. So is he sneaking into the house to poop? That's so weird. That's so weird. I hope it's what was going on.
I wonder, do we know if this cabin has like a basement crawl space or something?
Well, Mari kept hearing
dripping.
Mari needs to be taken out.
I think it was Mari in the pit in episode 1. So I think Mari's going to go at some point.
Who's in the pit is sort of regardless. I don't think that matters as much as people want. Like, I think it could end up being someone, but I don't think the point of this is who's in the pit. I don't think it's like the White Lotus season 1 where it's like, who's in the coffin?
Who's died? Sure, fine.
But, because I am a Lottie stan.
Yeah.
And she's being thrust into greatness. She's not forging it on her own.
No. No.
So in the past, Mari volunteered Lottie and Natalie to have a hunt off.
Yeah.
Because,
she says it's Natalie's fault they're not finding any food, but it's like, well, Travis is going out there also, but he is accepting Lottie's, like, blessing where Natalie is turning up her nose at it kind of a lot.
She did kill that bear.
She did kill that bear. That bear just wandered. Okay, that's the thing, too. Is I think part of this is because that bear was sick.
Well, they didn't get sick.
Are they maybe not sick? They're not vomiting. Do they maybe not have, like, bear worms in their brains? Like, I'm just saying.
The bear worms. We're going to start talking about that.
I'm just saying.
And the birds, they did eat the birds that fell from the sky, which, is good, but...
Also, Coach he is still dissociating. He is not dead, though, like dying.
Well, no, but he's just having these, like, awful pain in the ass, like, relationship flashbacks. And it's just like, this is why I'm not in a relationship. I don't need your baggage.
No, also, though, it's like he's having these relationship flashbacks, but in his mind, they're like what could have been type of vibe. And I'm like, this guy seems like he sucks.
Well, I think Coach Ben seems like he sucks. Because he's the closet case. He's the one that's all upset.
Yeah.
Because his ex-boyfriend has pixtures of his boyfriend has pictures of an ex-boyfriend. Yeah. And I don't know. I don't think that's out of...
I don't think it's out of pocket for him to have pictures of exes, but I also can understand why Coach Ben is still in the closet because he coaches a young girls soccer team. You know how it was in the 90s.
I will say I forget his name, Paul. I think that Paul has a slight superiority.
Well, yeah, because he seems to have been out forever, and he's like, come on.
There's a I don't know.
It's very, like, it's condescending. There's a condescension.
It's interesting. I like that we're getting more Coach Ben material.
Well, just in time for them to eat him.
It's also sort of, I don't think it's a buffet. Like, I don't think they're going down the line eating person after person. I think the occult part of it is a bit more.
No, of course, yes. And like so far, we're like not even a full year into
We're only
this.
2 months.
No, we're way more than 2 months. They left. It was like
They said it had been 2 months
since the end of season 1.
Oh,
It's been since May that they have
did
been
all
missing
summer? Oh.
all summer and into the fall and the winter.
Oh well. Oh, okay.
Yeah. 100%, because it was soccer nationals, which is like May or June.
So Lottie and Natalie go out on their hunt. Natalie finds a moose.
The same moose.
Are we sure?
There's not that many albino mooses out there.
I thought she had shot it, like, in the head.
No, she missed it.
I know you said that, but I was waiting for this to be my vindication.
It ran away!
I was waiting for this to be my vindication. Well, then how did it get in the lake?
It was walking across the lake and fell through the weak spot.
Oh, okay.
Obviously.
I don't know. I was trying. I couldn't make it make sense. So yeah, they all tried to like heave ho the moose out of the lake, and
okay, here, let's see. Average weight of an adult moose. 1,200 to 1,600 pounds. Yeah.
What can a human lift? 200?
A malnourished young girl who's been in the woods for 8 months. Not 1,600 pounds. Especially because then it's like Snoot was hitting the edge of the hole that they had.
I really felt Natalie's frustration there. Lottie kind of meandered around. She cut her palm way too much.
To do another offering to like the same stump that they had Doom coming at.
Yeah, and then she had a dream. She found the plane that Laura Lee flew, and the teddy bear was in there, and Laura Lee's necklace. And then there was a ladder, like a hatch that went down to the mall, and all of the a really darkly lit mall, playing the theme song. And all of the girls were in the food court, and Laura Lee was the Last Supper, and she seemed like she seems like she's looking out for Lottie.
Yeah, I agree.
And because Lottie was like freezing out, and she was like, "You need to get out of here. Like you're gonna die."
Well, she didn't though. She just fell down and laid in the snow some more.
And then, how did they find her?
Mari and one of the other girls went looking for her.
Okay.
I think Akila. They went looking for her and they found her and they brought her back.
Akila did something. Oh, Akila found a mouse. And she like put it in her pocket. I don't know how much I don't know what we're doing. I don't know how much of this is actually happening.
I think as long as we're not with Lottie alone, I think it's all pretty much happening.
I thought Crystal was maybe not real, but multiple people confirmed that they had been talking to her in previous episodes. I still don't. The way she was framed in the previous episode, no one acknowledged her but Misty, so it was very odd. Yeah. I'm suspicious of everything happening. So they did find Javi, and he seems, I don't know, that's crazy to me that he would just be sort of like lurking around the periphery.
Okay, let me ask you this. So I remember one of the first times we talked about it, you said you watched Showgirls when you were way too young and you just thought that's what adulthood was like and you were terrified. Imagine you are 13, you are Javi and you are 13 and you're like, this is what girls in a group get up to? Hard pass. You're like, I'm going to take boy poops in the pee bucket and steal bear meat and they're never going to set eyes on my face again. Because he tried to run away from Van and Ty when he saw them.
Okay, so that's a very good point, but still, the wilderness of it is the thing. Like, I
agree.
If they were just like on like a field trip or something, and he just was like out, I don't know. It's crazy to me because he also didn't really talk. So he could be dazed or
confused. I think he is definitely both of those things. Also, Natalie is in big trouble now because she fully like crafted a crime scene.
I don't get, but even that it was all circumstantial. Like she wasn't like, I saw him fall off the cliff. And his she said dying words were this.
No, but she said she saw his body. She found his body. Yeah.
I thought she just said that the pant was in a tree or something.
I thought she said she found maybe.
If she said she saw his body, then she's in trouble. But I thought she just was like, oh, look, he's dead. All signs point to.
Now I don't remember exactly what she said. But she, like, showed him, like, I don't know.
I mean, he could have fallen down and bloodied his pant leg while he was out there running from the girls.
Yeah, I mean, he also looks better than they do. So maybe he's got the right
Peter
idea.
Pan Lost Boys. I don't know. Like,
man.
In present day, Ty is still blacking out.
Yeah.
She went to, I forgot her connection to Jessica Roberts.
She hired her.
She hired
Jessica so that she would...
For her political career.
But only so that she would go to the other Yellowjackets and try to get them to turn, just to make sure nobody would talk about it.
And so she went to Jessica's apartment to do something. Why was she there?
Did she?
Yeah, she was in Jessica Roberts' apartment before she woke up in the car, having driven...
Oh.
God knows where.
Then I have no idea. I blacked out then. I don't remember that even for 1 second, but that's fine. Yeah, then I don't know. Maybe it was on the way, or maybe she was just like trying to see.
Was there maybe like a key or something? I don't know.
Oh, potentially.
But she woke up in the car in like what, Ohio maybe?
Yeah, I don't know where Van is.
So then okay, so she was still on her way to Van's because then she she hitchhiked. There was a trucker that picked her up that had a very deliberate nudie pin.
Yeah.
I don't know why we were so focused on it. Ty liked it.
Yeah.
She asked if she could buy it.
Also, there's nothing, in my opinion, more condescending than a man who apologizes for, like, having something like that. I think nudie pens are fun. It's also, like, every job I ever worked at in construction, the men would apologize to me for swearing in front of me. And I'm like, I'm an adult woman. I have heard the F word before. I
think because he recognized that she was a senator.
Yeah.
And he claimed he voted for her, which I find suspect based on...
him being a long-haul trucker? I don't know, maybe she's really good for unions.
Based on very, very superficial reasons. But no, the fact that he's like he's picking her up, and then there's like, I see him I see the decorum. I see the thing like, ooh, it's not proper. But then he drove her, I guess, 2 vans. And,
to the town, wherever it is.
And she has a cute little, while you were streaming, like
a video rental store, or like maybe a
I hope
theater?
It does other things, yeah.
Because it had like a marquee behind Van, and so I'm sort of wondering if they maybe have like a one-room theater or something too.
And it seems like the first time that they're seeing each other since the craziness.
Lauren Ambrose looks great.
Again, the casting.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I would have thought maybe her scars had, well... I was going to say, I would have thought maybe they settled, but it was hardly cosmetic surgery.
Also, her face was ripped apart by a wolf. So really, this is the best case scenario. Her scars are better than they have any right to be.
I think I'm onto something. I think I was onto something with Natalie and Lisa. It's... Potentially. It's strange, but they were selling honey, and so Natalie went with Lisa.
They did not make it to the farmer's.
No, they went to Lisa's mother's house, Sybil. Just seemed worthy of the name. Just seems like a piece of work. Isn't there like a tragic Greek figure named Sybil?
I think so, yeah. Yeah. Also, there's that one Sybil Shepherd movie called Sybil, where she's got multiple personalities, I think. Yeah.
Well, so Lisa seemingly suffers from depression, and she's joined this cult. She's very pro-it. She feels good about it, as cult people tend to.
I'm also generally pro-Lottie. It depends on...
In broad strokes, I'm pro-Lottie.
It depends on if she's, like, fleecing these people out of their money and stuff like that. But that's the thing, is, like, sometimes there are people, like Lisa's character, who genuinely, they just literally need structure and someone to talk to, and something that doesn't make you conform into society, which is not for everybody. Like, everybody cannot handle conforming to societal norms and functions and stuff like that, and some people just need to live communally. I would love to live communally. I am this close.
You're like, as long as these 3 cameras work.
It's ridiculous. So it's like, she seems to be genuinely doing well, from the way she speaks to the way she interacts with Natalie, who tried to stab her in the face with a fork, to even the way that she's interacting with her mother. She tried
to stab her with the fork. I think her face got in the way.
No, her hand got in the way of her face. Yeah, that's what she did. Regardless, I think that there is value in something like what Lottie has created as long as she hasn't crossed a handful of boundaries.
Well, also, aren't cults one of those things that are like a dime a dozen? Aren't they kind of everywhere?
Yeah, it gets bad when you're fleecing people out of their money and then not providing anything, like Jonestown and like Heaven's Gate and stuff. That's when it gets like really terrible.
And Lottie is having her visions again, a la last week with the bloody bees. And she went to her psychiatrist, who's different than the guy that was treating her, and she wants her meds upped, and the psychiatrist doesn't think that's a good idea.
Well, she's like, tell me why, and then she tells her I'm having these visions, and the last time I had them, and then she kind of trailed off, and she was like, I can't do that again. And she was like, what if instead you thought about what these visions are like telling you? And that seems to be something that Lottie is trying. That's what makes me think that Lottie actually might be kind of okay, like running this commune, I guess I'll call it for now. Everyone else is calling it a cult. But it's because she doesn't want to be having these visions. If she were still having the visions and building the cult around that, I would be way more suspect. But she's taking medication, antipsychotics or bipolar medication, and she doesn't want to have the visions. So I feel like she is maybe trying to be helpful in a real way. But that's how I would get caught in a cult.
Yeah, so. Yeah. I would follow her. Yeah. I would follow her everywhere. Yeah. So that's kind of where I'm like, well, I can't trust myself.
She's having a hard time. And at the end, she's going through like the day's like gratitude cards or whatever. And she keeps having a vision of a Queen of Hearts playing card with its eyes scratched out. So she goes to a very similar tree stump, but we've established that this is not where they were, even though I thought that would have been amazing. And she cuts her hand again and is like, why can't this be enough? Or like, can't this please be enough? Because I think whatever is happening with her, I think she's obviously, because she's the deer queen or whatever, she's the one that's going to be like, we have to sacrifice someone in order to keep having food.
Also, Ty is still finding those symbols on the tree back in the wilderness, and the trees with the symbol are arranged in such a fashion that they make the giant symbol from bird's eye view.
But she refuses to believe. And I fully believe that what's going to end up coming to pass is that because she stamped it down so hard for so long, that's why she cut off Biscuit's head. Because she doesn't believe in it, but it's there, and you can't get rid of something like that. And Van is fully convinced that she is like connected to this place. I find it very fascinating. I'm very excited. Do you think she's gonna make Van go to Canada with her? Like go back to the scene of the crime? I feel like the adults have to get back there at some point. They have to.
Into season 3.
Yeah.
We also, we still have Misty and what's the name, Walter?
Yeah.
Walter's still on there.
They are looking for Lottie. They're looking for Nat, but in order to find Nat, they have to find Lottie.
What was that montage of them like combing through the hotel room?
They're just the same. They're doing the same thing.
But they were trying to make sure it wasn't bugged? Or? Okay.
And that there weren't any like recording devices behind the TV and stuff like that. Yeah.
That whole like mirror thing. Yeah. And is it just supposed to be meet cutie for them?
Kind of. I sort of feel like anti-sexual about them.
I was literally about to say, Misty gives me
like anti-sexual vibes. I know she wanted to bang Coach Ben, but I think that was just like
a manifestation.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But it doesn't really. She also really gave him what for, because she thought he was like tricking her about the show tunes and stuff. Like he was like a Yellowjackets person. And he was like, Misty, I don't care about that. But I don't know how much we can trust anything he says.
And then Shauna and Jeff. Shauna just told Callie everything. Which, I'm fine with. I would like to see Callie become a more interesting or like collaborative character.
I would love to see her nut up.
However, I found it kind of confusing because I thought that Shauna was reverse psychology her, or I thought she was like, oh, what do you think? And she was just like explaining the plan.
Yeah.
But the absurdity was gonna like fall, like, I don't know. But Callie was right there with it. She like bought everything.
She did. She went for all of it. She even allowed that her dad was the blackmailer. Because she seems to be a daddy's girl. She seems to be on Jeff's side way more than Shauna's side, which, I mean, that happens. That can happen when you're like 15, 16, 17, but it also...
And the thing is, I like I said, even though I don't like Callie now, I want for there to be a scenario where I like her, and I want to believe that I think that she takes this information seriously.
Yeah.
But I don't think she's wise enough to know to not tell her new suspiciously older boyfriend that she met in a bar.
Okay, agreed. But then she also said, I've been meeting a friend in the park and drinking. And I think she's been meeting him somewhere and drinking. And so the fact that she didn't go with him this night and stayed home to make dinner with the family, I
don't like that.
Why?
For him. Ew.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, it's disgusting.
I mean, the bar is one thing when you're trying to, like, establish a connection, but don't go drinking in the park with 15, 16-year-old
I think
girls.
she's 17 or 18, but regardless. But I do think what I'm hopeful for is that her deciding to come home and cook dinner with her family was more a nod to her just being like, stop lying to me. And so when Shauna told her the truth, she was like, well, if we can get there, we can get there. Also, her room is littered with condoms. They're everywhere. Shauna found like 6 while she was searching. I mean, props on the safe sex, but like so many condoms.
She also went out that cucumber like Kendall Jenner. Oh, I kind of was like waiting for her to kind of be like...
Teach your children how to cook, please. Well, Lisa's mom's a piece of work. We didn't really touch on it. I just talked about how she was like speaking to her. But she was like...
Well, what does she want? I mean, does she...
She wants her to come home and get back on her medication. But it's like...
But if that didn't work for Lisa, like, does she just want to control Lisa? Or...
Yeah, and also because, like, Natalie was, like, peeping around the house and she saw, like, the photos of Lisa where she looked gloomy. And I'm just sort of like, if you...
Sort of like, not literally a Munchausen, but it's like I think she likes having...
Maybe. And so, like, Lisa, stop taking your medication, which, like, please take your medication. But she also said she found someone to help wean her off of the medication. I'm very of two minds about it because I think you should take medication if you need medication. But if you, like, with guidance, are, like, trying to get to a place where you don't need the medication, I don't think that that's harmful either if you are doing it in a safe environment. But then the question becomes, is Lottie's cult a safe environment? So I don't know. Really quick, I wanted to talk, I don't know totally how to explain it. I want to talk about Natalie's physicality because she is very just like rolling down the wall. Like every time she's walking anywhere, it's like she puts her back to it and then she just kind of like rolls the wall. And she's like, I don't know. I'm in love with whatever Juliette Lewis is doing.
She did get Lisa her fish
in her mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. And Misty is presumably close enough that they'll find each other in the next episode.
She was like, if both of them are kidnapped.
Oh, because she thinks Ty and Shauna have been kidnapped too, because nobody's returning Misty's calls.
You can't leave Misty on red.
Don't leave Misty hanging, especially after she helped you dispose of a body. There was also that moment where we both were convinced Shauna, like when Callie was like, is he even like the first person you've killed or whatever? We both were like, well, no. No, he's not.
Well, on that note, like and subscribe. We head on over to Patreon at patreon.com/soimwatching the show. We have a Cashapp and a Venmo. And mostly, I just kind of can't wait for next week because I want to see what's going on with Bobby.
So fun.